Are you puzzled whether your wife should adopt your surname after marriage or she should keep using hers? If these are your questions, then keep watching The Family Man, and I'm your family coach Prashant Srivastav. Though in India it is not mandatory for Indian women to change their surnames after marriage, but it is a deep rooted custom in Indian society. A lot of women do choose to change their surnames. Either they completely drop their older surnames and adopt a new one, or they go with the new trendy surnames like where they can use both their older and the new surnames like Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, Kareena Kapoor Khan, or etc. I have seen a lot of men who persuade their wives into changing their surnames. But it is important for us to understand what can be the benefits and disadvantages of changing the surnames. So let's talk about them in brief. First one, and which is very natural, that you will have a feeling of pride. You will have that sense of pride that someone has adopted your surname. You will know that there is someone who will carry forward your family name in the future. Secondly, your future kids can identify their parents as, let's say, Mr. and Mrs. Srivastav, Mr. and Mrs. Malhotra, Mr. and Mrs. XYZ, whatever be the surname is. They will not have any kind of identity crisis. They will not ask questions like why we are identified by only our father's surname but not mother's, because they have known their mother with her maiden name. You will have less chances of being asked for a marriage certificate when you are interacting with institutions like schools, colleges, hospitals, banks, etc. because you both share the same surname. And lastly and importantly, our Indian society will not question your unity. They will not see you as two separate people with two different surnames, but they will see you as a couple who share the same surnames. Now let's talk about the disadvantages of changing the surname. And it is really important for the people who are frequent travelers. Whether they are traveling domestic, international, for business purpose or personal work, it is important for them to understand that what kind of hassles they can face if their wives change their surname after wedding. The very first thing is that there will be a lot of paperwork involved. You have to get all the identification documents like driving license, Aadhaar card, passport to be updated with the new surname. Because whenever you fly, you have to show those identification documents. Those document names should match with the name that is there on the tickets. Secondly, if your wife is planning for higher studies, and some people do not anticipate it, if your wife is planning for higher studies, then you have to make sure that you have an affidavit ready which would tell that she has changed her maiden name to the new name, because all her previous documentation, all her previous mark sheets that she is submitting to the university or any other, whether it is domestic or international, they are going to ask for the previous mark sheets, and those names on the mark sheet should match with the name on the passport or whatever identification documents that you are submitting. People do not anticipate this kind of issue, but it does happen. And in that case, you need to have an affidavit ready that she changed her maiden name to this surname. And lastly, if you're applying for a visa to travel abroad for work purpose or visitor visa, then you have to make sure that all your visa applications are submitted with the relevant documents about the name change, because this leads to a lot of rejections in the visas, and that creates a lot of hassles in the last moment. So please make sure that these documents are in place. I think this is it for today. I hope this video helped you in understanding whether changing the surname is helpful for you or not. If you like this video, please press like button, subscribe my channel and share this video. Thank you very much. I'll see you again next week. This is your coach Prashant Srivastav. Take care.